I know it's a day before, but and not a day before because we're going to release this tomorrow, but it's a day before, and I wanted to be the first one to tell you, Dean, Happy Halloween.
Oh, thank you. Yes, happy Halloween to you as well.
Thank you. So how does Halloween work in Canada? Same?
I pretty much the same, I think.
Same thing.
It's not like
trick or treating.
Yeah, it's not like Thanksgiving where it's on a different day.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
it's all about
That's
football. It's different. I think it's the same here.
Well, I think America Thanksgiving is all about football as well.
That's what I mean. Yeah, ours is not about football. Ours is about family. But whatever. Yeah.
Lame.
Yeah. But yeah, no, it's the same thing here. Trick or treating, candy.
What's your favorite?
Bars.
What's your favorite Halloween candy?
Ooh, that is tough. Okay, so there's like all the mini chocolate bars, right? Anything you could want. But I'm more of like a candy guy. So
okay, so not chocolate. You're going more like the sugary.
I think I'd go with
chocolate sugary, but
yeah, no, but like the sugary candy stuff. I was always a big fan of Skittles. So getting like when they came out with the mini packs of Skittles, I was a big fan of getting those.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, so you're going with Skittles?
I'm gonna go with Skittle, but not like the sour ones because those ones just like would cut up my teeth. Not my teeth. It would cut up my tongue. Yeah,
like red bag Skittles.
Yeah, just regular red bag Skittles.
What are the sour ones? Like green?
Yeah, they're green and they just like rip your tongue to shreds.
We went trick or treating yesterday with my little cousins. And
wait. You went trick or treating yesterday?
Okay, I know. Here's the problem out here is they tend to not have trick-or-treating on Halloween.
Wait, what? So it is different.
Okay, so we found the first difference.
If someone in my neighborhood went trick-or-treating yesterday, they weren't getting anything.
It's just some punk looking for candy.
Yeah.
No, out here, and maybe it's just my area. I don't know. I have not traveled the U.S., and done any research into the trick-or-treating out here. But where I live, some people have it, some counties will have it the weekend, like if it's close to a weekend, they'll do it on a weekend day, and they'll do it from like 2 to 5. So you're not even doing it in the dark.
I've never heard of that. So like how does everybody know? You just all know that you're supposed to have candy ready?
Facebook.
Okay.
Facebook.
Wow.
No, the town will usually put something out. I don't know. Other than Facebook, I don't know how people know about this stuff.
Yeah.
Maybe they put it in the paper. I don't know.
Okay. Yeah.
I don't read the paper.
Right. I forgot that was a way to communicate information.
Yeah. So yeah, we went trick or treating yesterday.
Okay.
And my cousin got a purple bag of Skittles.
No way.
I don't know what the purple means.
The purple is the berry flavors. It's
purple berry. Okay.
Yeah, it's like they're all berry flavored. I don't know. It's just a different thing. Like
so
blue,
I don't like
blue's
Skittles,
tropical.
So I don't know about this stuff.
Oh, okay. I know everything about Skittles. You can ask me anything about Skittles.
All right, so you're the Skittle expert.
I'm the Skittle expert. Yeah.
Okay. What year were Skittles invented?
1962.
That sounds right.
Mm-hmm.
That does.
That's because it
and
is.
honestly, I don't know enough about this to even question it.
Oh yeah, that was right. You didn't even hear any keystrokes going. That was just off the top of my head.
Yeah, that was great.
Yeah.
I'm actually amazed right now.
Yeah.
My favorite is probably the Kit Kat.
Oh, Kit Kat's good. Give me a break.
I love Kit Kats. So you're... we would be perfect. Like if we went trick-or-treating as kids together, I would give you all of the Skittles, the Smarties, all of that gross stuff.
Yeah,
the stuff I didn't like.
We'd make trades.
Chocolate.
Yeah, we'd make trades for sure. I love the candy coating. So like you just said, Smartie. I love anything with candy coating on it.
There we go.
Like with that hard shell, beautiful.
So yeah, we went yesterday. We actually had it was a really good time. I wish it would have been dark out. It's how it's trick-or-treating. It's supposed to be spooky.
Yeah.
But
yeah, true. Like going from 2 to 5, I never thought about that. That takes a whole element out of it. Yeah, and like sometimes in up in Canada here, like in Manitoba, it gets a little cold, so sometimes you got to like wear your winter jacket.
Right, and no one knows what costume you're wearing.
Exactly, it's terrible, but like it's part of Halloween. Like if it's a little crisp and you got to throw on a winter jacket, it just feels like Halloween.
Oh, I remember trick or treating like in the snow.
Yes.
When I was a kid.
Oh yeah. Just terrible. You can't take the shortcuts.
No, right.
You got to actually stay on the
to the road and the driveway.
you got to stay on the driveways. Yeah.
Yeah. So trick-or-treating for me was always pretty fun as a kid. I enjoyed it, but my favorite part always, even from when I was a little kid, and I don't know why, maybe because it was my family, and to be in my family you had to enjoy these things.
Okay, yeah.
My favorite part of Halloween is the movies.
Yes. I hear you on that.
Scary movies are horror movies are probably my favorite genre.
Yes,
so I think it's my favorite.
I'm with you, and I would say like I love horror movies, but scary movies I don't like, and I realize that they're both the same thing. Yeah, but I don't like scary movies, and I love horror movies.
Okay. You know what? I can actually see that. We're going to talk in a second about what our idea was for the show here and what we'll actually be talking about. But in your pick for me, that makes sense.
Yeah. Okay.
That makes sense.
So I would say that like I really like Halloween 2, and I would always want to watch like a horror movie on Halloween. I would have when you got old enough, you'd have like your friends over and watching a scary movie, and I always would want to pick one that I knew was going to be like horror, but also like I knew I could handle it.
Yeah. I always want to be, when I'm watching a horror movie, I want to be scared.
Yeah.
Like I don't want to be grossed out. There's a difference between scary and gory.
Okay.
I don't like gory.
Okay. See, I'm the opposite.
You'd rather see gore.
I'm fine with gore. No problem. I like gore. What I love that feeling of being scared while I'm watching it. It's just that feeling after. If it lingers with me, if it comes to bed with me, I don't like it.
Then it's done its job.
Yeah. Oh, for sure. But that's when I'm like, oh, maybe that was a bad choice.
I should not have done this.
So I will. Yeah, exactly. Like I shouldn't have done this. But like during it, I'm like, this is so cool. I love this. That's why like books and comics that are horror, I just love. Like I love reading horror books.
Oh yeah.
It's just those visuals, I think, and actually watching it happen that sticks with me later on.
There is a big difference having that visual component.
Yes.
For me, like I've mentioned on this show before that I'm a big Stephen King fan. Mm-hmm. So I love horror in all mediums.
Yes.
But movies for me are probably they can make me the most scared.
Yeah. I think so too. Like I would have to agree. There would be definitely movies can make me most scared. There's no way I'm losing sleep over a book.
Right. No, not at all.
I guess my imagination just isn't good enough.
Right. So the idea was, because we both like to be scared, the idea for our show, and this is a special Halloween episode of by the way, welcome to the First Last Podcast with Alex and
there
Dean.
You go. Yeah. Hello. Welcome.
Special edition, Halloween edition. The idea was that we would each pick a movie for the other person to watch, and it had to be one that we thought would scare the other person.
Yes.
My idea for picking, like what I went through picking a movie, it wasn't, what do I think, is it a good or bad movie? I think that the movie that I picked, of course, was a good movie. Mm-hmm. But the biggest factor that I looked at was how much could it scare Dean? How much would it scare Dean?
Yes, and that's also what I was thinking of. But it was harder for me because, like I said, I try to stay away from the ones that are really, really scary. So I had to think of ones like what really scared me when I watched it. So I think I was able to come up with one, but I guess we'll see.
Also, the other rule was, so first it had to be something we thought would scare the other person.
Yeah.
And it had to have been something that the other person has never seen before.
Exactly.
I thought that was going to be difficult for you because I've seen a lot of scary movies. So I'm like, okay, we'll see what you come up with. And the first one you shoot out, I'm like, boom. Nope, I've never seen it.
First shot, I got it. And yours is going to be easy because I probably haven't watched the super scary movies.
Right, that's what I did. I'm like, okay, what's scary? Because I know that you enjoy the horror genre.
Yeah,
I think we've talked about this before.
Yeah.
That you don't like things that are super scary.
Yeah, and it's actually very specific things that would scare me. Like you may not even know that it was going to be that. Like I may just watch a movie and be like, oh no, it's fine. Then the one will hit me. That's like, ooh, that one. I don't ever want to see that again.
So the one that I gave you was the original. There was a remake to this one, but I specifically said the original Sam Raimi's The Evil Dead.
Yeah.
And this movie came out in 1981, and it starred, now he's a big name.
Right.
I think he's a big name. Bruce Campbell.
Yeah. Definitely
was the lead in that movie.
Definitely in like the nerd culture, he's a big name.
Yeah, for sure. And Dean, what'd you give me?
I gave you the movie that I could remember losing days of sleep over after seeing it in the theaters, and that was The Conjuring.
The Conjuring.
Yeah.
And The Conjuring came out in 2013.
Yes, and there's been, like your movie, there's been sequels and spin-offs, also kind of like your movie.
Yes. Yep. But we stuck to just the first one.
Yeah, just the first one, and I will say that I did watch both of these this weekend, so I could brush up on my Conjuring knowledge, and then obviously watch Evil Dead. And I will say it is Monday night, and I haven't slept since. So I'm hoping tonight, fingers crossed for tonight, for getting some sleep in. But
okay, I'm hoping that mine scared you more than The Conjuring.
This was a terrible idea. That's all I'm gonna say.
I've actually, Sarah and I, much to Sarah's chagrin, we have been watching a lot of scary movies lately.
Yeah, we've been doing that as well, which we normally don't do. We try to pick like Halloween-y movies that aren't really scary. And we've been, trying to buff up a bit on the ones we can watch, and I think we've done a good job this year. Last weekend, I watched The Shining for the first time.
There you go.
Yeah. So.
There you go. I knew you hadn't watched The Shining. Well, I guess you watched it last weekend.
Yeah.
But I didn't know you had done that, but I knew you hadn't seen it before. I almost picked that one, but I started thinking, I'm like, that one's not that scary.
No, you definitely picked a scarier movie. I would actually say The Shining isn't really that scary at
all. Okay. All right, good. So first of all, what I want to do here is have us both say, just in general terms, if the movie scared us.
Okay.
Did The Evil Dead scare you, Dean?
If I have to be general about it, I'm going to say no.
Okay.
Yeah. Alex, did The Conjuring scare you?
No.
Interesting. See, I think it's just different things that scare us.
Could be. Because there's a lot of similarities, actually, to the two movies we picked.
We definitely have agreed upon that demonic possession is scary.
Yeah.
Right? I think both of our movies are solely rooted in that. Yeah, I have been losing sleep over the past days from The Conjuring.
None of it had to do with The Evil Dead.
Oh well, not the losing sleep. No.
Okay.
So not that. We'll get into this, but like my general term would be that The Evil Dead didn't scare me. The Evil Dead is scary. I'm just saying that if I had to just generalize it, I would say it didn't scare me.
Okay, I want you to start then, because I don't really know what that means, and I think I'm a little too heartbroken right now to to talk.
Okay, I'll get into it.
I was so sure that I was going to scare you there.
I know, and I know the issues. I know them right up front, so I can get to them if you want.
Just do it first. Okay, first of all, in case you haven't seen the movie, Dean, just give a quick little synopsis.
Okay, little synopsis of The Evil Dead is 5 probably teenagers. They look like they're in their, I don't know, they're in their young, early 20s, I think, young adults. Sure. Anyways, five kids go to a cabin in the middle of nowhere, and for whatever reason, and they find a book in the cellar that is the Book of the Dead, and it ends up basically bringing this demonic power upon them, and they are each getting possessed, kind of one by one.
Okay. Yep. Now, okay, just I guess just keep going. I'm trying to figure out where I went wrong.
Well, you didn't go wrong. Like, if we're aiming this at it being scary, right? Like, I enjoyed the movie a lot. I think it's a good movie.
I'm glad you enjoyed it.
Yeah, I would have to like my scare factor is going to be it's not like wasn't scary at all. Ooh. It's just like it just I wasn't scared after it sort of thing. Okay. Like so during there's lots of scenes that are like the nervous scenes where you're like, oh, I don't want to look, what's going to happen next, like what's behind that curtain, those types of things. I like those things. Those were very scary, but I would say overall, like I wasn't scared at the end of it.
Okay.
Yeah. Which okay, so I'll just get out and say what held me back. The obvious low budget nature of it.
Sure.
And the sort of acting that was funny but not supposed to be.
Okay.
So I would say those things are what keep me back from it actually getting super invested, that I'm scared. Like, so this movie came out in 1981. If I was, say, 14, 15 in 1981 and I went to the theater to watch it, I would be terrified. Like, this would be the scariest movie I've ever seen.
Okay.
It's just that it's because I live, like, we're in 2017 now, and I just feel like the very practical effects, although good, didn't quite get me into the scare zone.
Okay, so what I need to do is I need to invent a time machine and go back in time, find 14-year-old Dean, sit him down in front of the TV, pop in probably a VHS.
And this movie would look better on VHS because you wouldn't be able to see, like, kind of the faults that are in it.
Right. Oh, how about that, the moon? I think when he's bearing it, you see the moon and you can see the box around the moon.
Yeah. There's a few things that you can definitely tell probably better than you can on VHS when the person playing a certain character, it just is just totally a different person.
Yeah. Okay. Let me explain the first time I ever saw this movie.
Oh, yes, please.
I was, oh boy, somewhere probably middle school, maybe a little younger than that. Mm-hmm. So let's just say sixth grade.
Too young for this movie.
I don't know about that. Not in my family.
Wow.
And it wouldn't have been as scary, but I'm downstairs in our basement at the time. And all the lights are off. Every single light is off. I'm by myself, and I'm watching the movie. Everything's okay until we get to the scene where the one of the characters is having the other one guess what the card is.
Oh yeah, I know what you're talking about.
So she flips it up, and of course the other character's getting it wrong. Like, every time it's wrong. But there's a character who's staring out the window who starts to get them all right. Mm-hmm. And it keeps going. And she turns around, and she's like full demon-possessed mode.
And floating.
And floating. Yeah, she's floating. Yeah. That was terrifying. She ends up stabbing a girl in the ankle with a pencil.
Oh, yeah. And just twisting it and pulling it. That was gross.
So that's where I stopped the movie.
Yeah.
Right about there is where I stopped it.
Yeah.
And I think I ended up finishing. I don't remember where I finished it, but that memory will stay with me forever of just being terrified when she turns around from that window.
Yeah, that is. And what makes that so scary in this movie too is that there's no slow progression, really, right? Like, it is just right away. Like, she's at the window, and then all of a sudden she's saying, and she starts saying the cards in her voice, and then it just starts to get like a little more like something's in her voice, and like a little lower and a little more aggressive. Then she turns and she's like starts floating in the air, and that was very scary.
Okay, all right, good. So
I'm not saying this movie wasn't scary.
Sometimes
I'm not saying this movie wasn't scary, and I'm not saying I wasn't nervous watching it. For sure, I was. I wasn't just sitting there and like, what is this garbage? No, I was for sure nervous during the movie. I'm just saying it didn't like scare me. Like, I wasn't lingering after.
Okay, but is that okay? So does that have to be a thing in order to make the movie scary or not?
No, the movie
the movie scared you.
I'd say the movie's scary, but it didn't scare me. Like, I think what's in my head about being scary is that, like, afterwards, like, it has
to scare you afterwards.
Yeah, it has to stick with me afterwards. Like, I have to be nervous to go down into the basement, which I probably wouldn't have been after just The Evil Dead.
Okay. Huh. I wonder what it is about The Conjuring that scared you even more than The Evil Dead, because I found The Conjuring not to be scary like at all. I enjoyed the movie, actually.
Okay, yeah, you weren't. I enjoyed the movie too. See, this is the thing. While I'm watching The Conjuring, I don't think I'm scared. And then after, I can't handle it.
So one of the things that doesn't actually scare me, has that lingering scaring effect about these types of movies, because, okay, so in The Conjuring, this family moves into this old kind of like farmhouse, and things start to happen in there. There's demons in the house. Right? And eventually the mom ends up getting possessed by the demon, and the whole time there's these are the Conjuring supposed to be based on Ed and Lorraine Warren's like true stories. That's right. That's BS. I don't buy any of that.
Yeah, for sure.
And the reason and me saying that there is actually why none of this stuff scares me for a prolonged period of time, and that's because I personally, in no way whatsoever, believe that ghosts and possession is real.
Right.
So, like, I'm never afraid that there's going to be a ghost there.
Yeah. So, okay, so I would say during the movies, while they are on, I probably had more jump scares in The Evil Dead.
Oh,
so
yeah.
You know, more times where I'm, like, nervous, and then, like, whoa. But both these movies use noise very effectively. And in both in very different ways. So it is The Conjuring's use of noise that actually really scares me.
That's what I told Sarah too when we were watching. I'm like, it's all the because if you pay attention, you'll know when a scare is coming, because the sound gets really quiet.
Yes. So exactly. It's all about like the null noise. Like it's all about quiet. Yep. And then hearing something.
And then it hits you. Yeah.
And then, or just like hearing something faintly, which for me is terrifying, because then when I'm lying in bed, I feel like I'm hearing it.
See, usually it's like a really loud noise that they use to, like, for the jump scares.
Yeah. Like The Evil Dead uses music that it just makes you very nervous.
Right.
Like it is very like aggressive music, whereas The Conjuring is very, like you said, it kind of gets quiet.
Yeah. Yeah. One of the problems that I had with The Conjuring itself, and I actually tend to like these sorts of stories, things like Amityville Horror and just like possession, demon stories, things like that.
Yeah.
I like them, but my problem with The Conjuring was they didn't spend enough time getting you acquainted with the family. They didn't do enough character work. So when things started happening to them, I didn't care. Like, you're supposed to feel for the family.
Okay, yeah.
That's the only way that makes something like this scary. If you don't care about the characters, you don't care what happens to them. I guess you're just along to watch bad things happen to nameless, forgetful people.
Yeah. Okay.
There was a lot of. I thought there was good character work with Ed and Lorraine, the two demonologist ghost hunters.
Definitely, yeah.
Patrick Wilson and we had talked about this before the show, making sure we said her name right. Vera Farmiga.
Yeah.
So the two of them, I liked the work that was done on them. I thought it was really good.
Definitely,
it was the rest of the family where we didn't get like anything.
Right. Okay. So I felt like I was getting to know them as terrible things were happening to them. I thought it was a good like slow build on how they were just kind of very small things happening. And then it just got bigger and bigger and bigger. And I felt like I got to know some of those like girls while that was happening. But I do get it. I get that. I would say the same. I say that's kind of also why I wasn't very scared of The Evil Dead.
Oh, that's Evil Dead for sure. You don't know anything about these characters.
And like the only one who's like basically around during the end is the Bruce Campbell's character, and I'm like, well, I know he survives.
Right.
I know he's a huge star now. In all these, like in this movie franchise.
Well, they don't actually die in the movies. Like when they die.
Oh, yeah. Like Bruce Campbell doesn't actually die. Yeah.
Right. It's only a movie.
I think this was a documentary though.
The Conjuring or The Evil Dead?
The Evil Dead wasn't it a documentary?
I mean, I guess that one was.
But... Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So if he died, like there would be no Bruce Campbell.
Correct. Right, so, okay, I'll give you that one.
Yeah. Okay. So I know he's going to be big in the other movies and becomes like this big action hero almost.
Yes.
So like
his character changes a lot from the first.
Yeah. I wasn't really that nervous. Also, like this movie being basically like the direct parody that Cabin in the Woods is. Like there's lots of
right.
I don't know if you've seen The Cabin in the Woods.
I love that movie.
Yeah. Okay. It like draws on a lot of horror tropes, but like if you had to say it's making fun of one movie, you would say The Evil Dead.
Yeah. So here's the thing with The Conjuring. Actually, I actually really did. I really did enjoy the movie.
Yeah, I do enjoy it as well.
Well, I had problems with the character work and having it be not that scary. There are actually some things that I really liked about it. First one was, and for this sort of story, it has to be this way. It can't be any other way. No characters were killed in the movie.
Right. Yeah.
And I feel like if you have a movie like The Conjuring and you start killing characters, it's done.
Yeah.
Like I don't care anymore.
Yeah.
Because that's now they're using deaths to scare you.
Right.
That's not the scary part.
No, exactly.
So that's one of the things that I thought The Conjuring did really, really well is restraining itself from truly hurting any character.
Yeah. So like I would say the things in The Conjuring for me that are like the most scary, and it's because of the noise, is hide and clap, and
that was great. I loved that.
And a door slowly banging 3 times. That's all.
Yeah.
Those 2 things just drive me insane.
So okay, so when they're doing the 3 clap game, we're sitting in our living room watching the movie.
Yeah.
And downstairs in our basement, we hear.
I was thinking about this. Yeah, because I knew that you had some banging in your basement, so I was thinking, I wonder if that was happening while I was watching the movie.
It was happening.
Oh my.
So I actually we've actually been experiencing this for a little while now. The banging in the basement.
Right.
So I actually paused the movie and I go downstairs. The scariest thing that happened the whole night was finding that banging was coming from our water heater, which had apparently been leaking for the last month or 2 and destroyed like all of our new flooring.
It's just terrible.
Oh God, it sucked. But thanks to The Conjuring, I discovered the problem.
You went to check it out. Yeah, you're welcome.
Yeah.
That hide and clap game scares me.
That was great. I
mean, like, I watched it in the theater the first time, so, like, there's a bunch of idiot kids doing the clap throughout the whole movie, right? So it becomes, like, not scary. Right. But this time when I was watching it at home, it definitely got me.
Yeah. I really like the director of the movie, James Wan.
Yeah.
He also did the Insidious movies.
Oh, yeah.
So last night we watched the first 2. I had seen the first one before, and I hadn't seen the second one.
Yeah, I haven't seen the second. I've seen only the first.
Okay. Now, I thought Insidious was scarier than The Conjuring.
Oh, really? See, I didn't find Insidious very scary.
Well, it has those jump scares.
Yeah, okay, so
better than The Conjuring has.
Yeah, I think that's where our definitions are, what we're scared of, maybe. Not our definitions of scary, but the things that get us. Like, jump scares don't really get me. I would say they're scary, but I wouldn't be like afterwards. I wouldn't be like, that was a super scary movie if I just jumped a lot. Right. You know, it's more for me the stuff that sticks with me.
Yeah, and I guess because, like I said earlier, the types of stories that Insidious and The Conjuring are telling, that's not going to stick with me.
Right. Okay. Yeah.
Just because, I mean, whether I like the movie or not, that'll stick with me.
Yeah.
But being scared, no.
Yeah,
it doesn't work. That said, you may have still won if we're making this into a game.
If we're making this into a game with a winner,
right? I might give this one to you.
Okay.
So that night, I fall asleep.
Yeah.
I don't know if this had anything to do with The Conjuring because it wasn't actually Nothing in my dream was like from where I could say, oh, that's why I dreamed this.
Okay.
Because of that. But I had probably the scariest dream I have had in a very long time. It's one of those where you wake up and you're sweating and your heart's just pounding in your chest.
Oh yeah.
So my dream, I don't remember all of it, but the part that I do remember is being stuck in my bed. So like I'm dreaming that I'm sleeping.
Yeah.
All right. So that's probably why it felt so real, because I wake up and I can feel like someone watching me.
Yeah.
As I'm laying there, and I'm trying to scream in my dream, and I can't. Like I can feel it. Feels like I'm screaming, but I can't hear anything. Yeah. Oh my God, I was terrified. Now, I don't know if The Conjuring had anything to do with that.
I think maybe it was either that or the water heater.
Maybe
could be the water heater.
So just because maybe it had to do with The Conjuring, I'm gonna give the win to you.
Okay, that's good. Like I mean. There's a lot of disturbing things in The Evil Dead. There's, like, if we're talking scary versus disturbing, there are a lot of disturbing things.
Yeah.
That you definitely don't want to look at.
When she's looking through, she's down in, like, the cellar and she pushes the door open a little bit and you can see her through it.
Yeah.
Come on, that's scary.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, for sure. That's scary, like, the things I have are like when definitely the first thing when she's saying the cards and floating, very scary. Actually, like right at the beginning when she starts kind of drawing like the book, where her hands just kind of possessed and she starts drawing the book.
Yeah.
That's scary.
How about that tree scene?
Okay, yeah, we haven't got to this. We haven't got to
talk about the tree scene. People who have seen The Evil Dead know what we're talking about.
Yeah, like that tree. The wood, she get violated by the woods?
She got violated by the woods.
Yeah, that was messed up, man. I was like, what is going on here? What is that tree doing?
Yep.
And then she like doesn't like she definitely doesn't say anything to anybody about it. Well, she doesn't have a lot of time.
What are you going to say?
Well, exactly. Like she tried. She basically tried to say the trees are evil, and that already didn't get her anywhere. So
yeah.
The things that were like super like made me cringe is definitely the pencil in the ankle, and later. I think the worst thing for me was later when Ash buried his girlfriend and she like came out of the ground and was just like clawing at his leg and she was like clawing it down to like the bone. That was disgusting.
Yeah. For me in The Conjuring, other than a couple of the jump scares, I mean, there were a couple of those. Everyone knows if you've seen any horror movie that's come out in like the last 10 years, they all use most of the same stuff.
Yeah.
So there's those types of jump scares. But also, I thought what was really well done was when the mom did get possessed, and they're trying to exorcise the demon from her. They tie her to the chair, but they also have draped a sheet over her body.
Yeah.
And so you don't actually get to see, I mean, later you do, so you don't get to see her at first as she's flailing around. And I thought that was actually really well done. Because sometimes, you get them flailing around, it can look kind of goofy.
Yeah.
All right. But putting the sheet over her so you can't see it and you're just wondering what's going on under there, that was really well done. And then actually when you do finally get to see her, she's pretty creepy looking.
She's pretty creepy looking. I think they do a really good job of her being very creepy looking.
She kind of looks a little too much like a cat person.
Okay, yeah. It's the eyes, those eyes.
Yeah.
Because they got the slits, yeah. But like those kids, like that daughter, there's no way she can ever hug her mom again. Like, she's so young. She's totally messed up.
Well, one of the things that actually made the end of the movie not scary for me was, did you ever think for 1 second that she was going to actually hurt her kid?
No.
Exactly.
No. Yeah.
So there weren't like the stakes at the end.
Yeah.
It was more, are they going to get her back? Which, yes, they're going to get her back.
Yeah. I feel like it was like, will they kill the mom or not? Like, somehow, right? I don't know.
So there was that, but really all the stakes were gone by the end of the movie.
Yeah. Yeah, they got you with the scares, I think, the scene right before that. But then, like, basically right at the end, you kind of know you're going in the right direction. Like, she's going to be saved in that moment.
Right. So tonight, actually, after we're done with this, I'm planning on watching the second Conjuring. I don't know if it's any good.
Interesting. Nice.
I definitely want more of Lorraine and Ed Warren.
Yeah. I won't. I'm losing sleep because of these movies, so I'll probably just cool it tonight.
If you want a comedy, watch the second Evil Dead.
That's what I've heard. Yes, I've heard that the second Evil Dead. See, and I can see how that happened because I can see you looking at the Evil Dead and just saying, you know what, like there's a couple things that were amiss here, and I think if we go with the comedy, like we'll nail it. Because basically at the end when like Ash is run like just him with the demons, like there's some kind of funny beats in it. Like I feel like
so I'm thinking next time we do this, because we're gonna try to make this an annual thing.
Yes.
Next time we do this, I can't pick an older movie.
No, you can't. Like I've watched like The Exorcist, and it's just like I get lost in the datedness of it. And I'm not like saying like, oh, it's bad. I'm just saying it doesn't scare me.
Okay.
Because I can tell. Like I can just...
And I'm going to need to find some recent scary movies that will hold.
That's kind of the thing, yeah. Like I'm sure that the remake of Evil Dead is not as good as the original, but it probably would have scared me more.
Now that, like, as you're telling me how you felt about...
It probably would have got me more. There was... So, like, the most nervous I was in the movie was probably... Well, okay, so first of all, Ash's girlfriend is she's pretty scary. Like, her demonic possession is just sitting on the floor cross-legged laughing. Like, that is pretty...
Right?
That was definitely scary, yeah. She was scary. But, like, the most nervous I felt was probably when... what's the other guy's name? Scotty or something? The idiot.
Yeah.
Yeah, so when Scotty's girlfriend was first changed and he was, like, searching for her, that's the most nervous I felt.
Yeah.
Like when he pulled back to the curtain to the tub, that was probably my heart rate's max in the whole movie.
Okay.
Which she wasn't there, but I was just really, I thought for sure she was going to be in there and I was really scared.
This is, you know what, even though neither one of us came out of this actually really scaring the other person, I feel like this was a good exercise in the two of us getting to know each other a little bit more.
Oh, yeah, and introducing each other to two movies that it sounds like we both enjoyed.
Yes.
Evil Dead will definitely become a Halloween classic for me because I enjoyed it and wasn't super scared by it, so I will definitely watch it again.
So my contribution there was definitely a little more heartfelt than yours was, but...
Yeah, I know. Yeah, it's very nice of you. It was very kind.
But it's okay.
Yeah, and I do own it because it costs $5 to rent and $10 to own, so I figured might as well.
Oh, perfect. Yeah, that's one that I have on Blu-ray.
Yeah.
And I mean, with the Blu-ray, you can see more of the things like what you were saying, the inconsistencies or just
you got
the
like
datedness of it. You could tell that it didn't that they didn't have much money.
Oh yeah, there's no budget on this movie, and with what they did with no budget is kind of amazing. It's just like there's so many things in it where it like it's just like kind of falls into the classic horror things where you're like, oh, don't do that, you're so stupid. Like that, it's got those things in it.
Right. At the time, you know, I mean, now all of that stuff seems stupid, but I'm thinking 1981, that was a different time for horror movies.
Well, yes.
And that's why these older ones aren't going to work for you.
It's just like exploring things on your own. All I'm thinking is, what are you doing? Like, go ask your brother that you heard something in the woods and you want to go check it out. If you want to go check it out, don't do it by yourself. The trees are gonna rape you. Don't do it by yourself.
Is that just like a life lesson
That's just a life lesson. If you hear a noise in the woods, don't go out there.
It's a tree trying to rape you.
It's a tree, yeah. So just watch out.
Those trees they've always been known as deviants.
Yeah, but it's like some kind of things like trying to create moments out of nothing, which I would say like when they are driving, like Ash is driving. I think it's Cheryl, his sister. Ash is driving Cheryl out of there. And, like, he just, like, parks, and he's just like, just wait here. And then he goes and he's just checking that the bridge is out, but he parks like 6 miles away from the bridge or something. Like, he's so far away. Why didn't he just drive up to it or tell her where he's going?
Because then the car won't be in the shot.
It's just so that they get her coming out of the car immediately and then like getting the jump scare. Yeah. There was just like things like that were happening, and I was like, what is that even for? Why did he grab a pipe? Why did a pipe of blood burst on him in the basement? I don't get it.
I'm actually glad that we're talking about budget, because that's actually one of the interesting things to me. I was looking up the budget for The Conjuring, and even
this would be way
Insidious. No, it wasn't.
Oh, really?
So Insidious had a budget of $1.5 million.
Okay, that's relatively low for the things they were doing.
Oh, that's incredibly low.
Yeah, amazing.
And for a movie coming out today, that's like nothing.
For a movie coming out today that takes place somewhat in a different dimension, right? Or like, a different plane or whatever.
The Conjuring cost $20 million, which still isn't a lot. For a movie that cost $20 million, it made $318 million worldwide. That's
pretty good.
Yeah, you definitely got a return on that one.
Yeah, that's a good job. That's why they have a number 2, and that's why they have some Annabelle movies.
Yes.
I did enjoy Annabelle, not the movie, the doll in the movie.
I did not.
See, the reason I enjoyed Annabelle in the movie is because the doll didn't even move. Like,
it was okay. That was good though. That we never actually saw.
Oh yeah, for sure. Like, I felt the nervousness, but like nothing happened. Like, if you think of Annabelle and the 2 girls at the beginning, like nothing happened. Like, loud noises happened.
But nothing came of it. I didn't like that. Like, the Annabelle thing felt wow. Let me talk here. So if I can spit this out. Felt so shoehorned in to the movie.
Okay. See, I like it.
It had no purpose.
Yeah. So for me, that was like giving me sort of history that the two the two what were they
they say some
the Warrens,
demonologists,
the Warrens, the demonologists, that they have big cases before, and like I liked that in the beginning they went somewhere and they were just like, oh, it's just the pipes rattling. Most of the time it's nothing. I just like those little small things where it's like, okay, they've done this before, and I know it's because like they made Annabelle a big thing right at the beginning, so you're like, oh, this is going to be huge, and then it like comes later in like the smallest bit, but
right.
I get what you're saying. For me, it played like these guys know what they're doing. Like, these guys have experience.
Right. And I wouldn't have had a problem with the beginning of the movie if it would have had more of an impact later on.
Right. Yeah. Where it felt like they started to bring that in and then just like didn't at all.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
One of the main reasons that I want to watch The Conjuring 2 tonight is because I want to know what she saw and I hope that they cover it, because
totally.
They talk about during this exorcism that they were doing. She sees something.
Yeah.
And we don't they never really say what she saw.
She locks herself in a room for 8 days after that.
Yeah. So that was interesting.
I don't want to see that. I don't want to see what she saw.
I want to. I'll tell you what she saw.
You know what? She probably saw The Evil Dead. In that guy's eyes, it just played.
All right.
And she was like, I cannot handle this.
Perhaps. I'll let you know.
Okay.
So, while we didn't scare each other again, I still think this was a fun time. Happy Halloween, everyone.
Yes, happy Halloween. I hope you did this podcast in your costume, right?
Oh, yeah. I've been wearing a costume my entire life.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Oh, really?
Yeah. I'm always in costume.
Oh, wow.
No one has seen the real me.
So Alex is the costume.
Yeah.
Interesting.
You think I'm going to tell you my name?
I guess not.
Crazy people. Happy Halloween. Let's get out of here.
Happy Halloween.